Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Among many other things that I do, I also conduct Bazi consults. So Chinese astrology, that's what Bazi means. And there is a particular star in the Bazi chart that frightens a lot of people. It's called the solitary star. Now, not everyone has them in his or her chart, but sometimes it appears, and because of the name, it sounds rather negative, yeah? And the very old traditional interpretation makes it also sound very, very undesirable. But the solitary star is really not something we need to be concerned with too much. We don't need to worry about it that much. It also depends where this solitary star appears in your Bazi natal chart. So if the solitary star appears in your year pillar, so in the year that you are born, it frequently means that you are someone who's okay with being alone. Yeah, being alone and being lonely are not the same. Yeah, there are many people who feel comfortable with themselves, yeah, and don't mind being in their own company because you can do your own things, you can meditate, you can read, you can work on a project, or have a hobby that is fairly solitary. Yeah, so you're someone who's okay with me time and who actually needs me time. And so that is okay. That's not something that your family or friends need to worry about too much, right? Obviously, if it goes into the extreme and all you do is just spend time by yourself, then that's not so desirable. But overall, having this particular star in your year pillar just indicates that you are okay being alone. It doesn't necessarily make you feel lonely, and you have a very good sense of when you need me time and when you want to socialize. So this is actually not anything bad, not anything you need to worry about. If the solitary star appears in the month pillar, so in the month that you are born, then it means that you may not be such a great team player at work. Yeah, there are people who work really well in teams, and then there are people who prefer to do it solo, yeah, who are very, very good at focusing on one thing all by themselves. Again, it's not a big problem unless you are required to work in a team constantly. Then this could lead to some friction. But even then, if you are given some time to just work on a project all by yourself, you should be fine. Yeah, so those people are generally not found in big crowds at work. Yeah, it makes them a little bit uncomfortable and their work productivity may not be so high. The only place in a natal chart we don't want to see the solitary star is in the hour pillar. The hour pillar is the hour in which you are born. Having it in the hour pillar means that you may feel quite lonely in your old age. Yeah, the hour pillar represents your old age. And being lonely in old age um, is not something you want. Yeah, in your old age, you want to be surrounded by friends, by family, by your children, by your grandchildren. So having the solitary star there could indicate that maybe you have not really paid that much attention to having deep friendships, or you haven't really cultivated your relationships with your children and grandchildren, and therefore they don't care about you in old age. It doesn't mean that your children and grandchildren die or that you don't have children to begin with when you have the solitary star in the hour pillar. It just means that you're not very close with them, or you haven't really spent much time throughout your life cultivating these relationships. And this then leads to you having a fairly lonely old life. And this is really not something we want. We want to be surrounded by people, having fun and enjoying the later stages of our lives. So this is a marker that we look out for in a Bazi chart, especially when it appears in an hour pillar. And it's not inevitable that you have to be alone in old age. If we see this and if we spot this early on, we usually tell the client, look, do spend more time making friends and then maintaining friendships. Yeah, it's not about having a million friends on Facebook. It's about cultivating deep-rooted friendships and relationships with your family, with your children, grandchildren, and with your peers. Make sure that you're surrounded by a group of people you can rely on in difficult situations. And work on that already, because if you don't, this will create sadness in your old age. So it is entirely preventable if you take action early on. Yeah. So this is again how Bazi astrology can help you prevent certain things from happening, things that are undesirable, that are not so great. But if we spot it early on, we can absolutely prevent this from happening and change the directions that you're going in. So if you would like to know if you have your solitary star in your Bazi chart and where it is located, contact me and I'll be happy to do a Bazi reading for you. My contact details are in the notes below.